Hey, what's up? I'm Jeremy and I appreciate you stopping by. On this video, I just want to share my thoughts on the recent film Companion. This is a movie that the less you know going in, the better. So if you saw the second trailer, I apologize. Not because I did something wrong, but because I know that feeling. I did not consent to that. I was offended by the fact that they decided to reveal so much in that trailer. That said, I am here to spoil the movie. So if you have any intention on watching Companion and you haven't seen it yet, this video will be here. Just add it to your watch later list. Come back and check it out after you've seen the movie, because it's a really good movie and a lot of it hinges on, the element of surprise. Now that we've got that out of the way, I'm gonna talk to you as if you've seen the movie. It was directed by a guy named Drew Hancock, who also wrote the movie. I'm not familiar with his work. In fact, it didn't look like he had much prior to this. And if this is his calling card, his coming out to the world, he nailed it. He knocked it out of the park. It stars Sophie Thatcher, who is on a tear right now, might I add. She was great in Heretic. She's got a great role in Yellow Jackets. And then it also stars Jack Quaid, who is also having quite the run. In fact, I remember seeing the trailer for Companion before the movie Heretic, and now I've seen the trailer for Novocaine, an upcoming Jack Quaid project, before Companion. So their momentum is really building, and I'm excited to see what their future holds, because they're both extremely talented, very good in this movie. So to summarize, I think that Companion is like Heathers meets Blade Runner or something, and they should have put that in the marketing. Only it seems like they were kind of trying to play coy about the marketing, despite the fact that the poster gives away one of the big reveals. It reminds me, and this happens so much lately, a long time ago, from Dusk Till Dawn. That movie is so good, and if you wouldn't have known about the swerve, it would have made it all the more incredible and surprising and bold. And the same could be said about Abigail, which came out recently. And even Speak No Evil does it, where they just show too much in the trailer because they think we're dumbasses. They think that we are not smart enough to go see a movie without knowing exactly what we're going to see, and maybe they're right. But I will say, in the case of Companion, there are plenty more twists and turns along the way that the trailer doesn't outright spoil the movie. But man, it would have been so cool, at the 30-minute mark to be like, oh, what? She's a sex bot? Because a lot of the dialogue leading up to that point is telling without really showing his hand. So, a movie that did the marketing well, I can think of two examples, Blink Twice and Strange Darling. I think they nailed the balance of giving you enough to be interested to go see it without ruining what is essentially one of the biggest selling points of the movie. In Companion, back to Companion, a group of friends travel out to this remote countryside home. Jack Quaid is accompanied by his girlfriend Iris, who turns out to be a companion robot, right? She's named Iris. This is one of the funny things about the movie. When she gets shipped to him, he's listening to Goo Goo Dolls' song Iris, so he obviously has some really corny connections to that song, which I thought was a nice little touch. But this movie explores a couple of themes, and I think it does it really well. When you're dealing with any artificial intelligence storytelling, it's ripe with the opportunity to explore existentialism, questions like, what does it mean to exist? What is humanity? And a movie similar but different is Wild Robot, which also explores a lot of these things just through a different vehicle. So yeah, who would have thought I'd be comparing Companion to the Wild Robot, but here we are. When they get out onto this little friend vacation, it becomes apparent that there's some plotting going on, which involves Jack Quaid and his friend. I think he wants her to be more than his friend, but she's not interested. She just kind of sees him as a accomplice. What's the word that I'm looking for? a fall guy, basically. She wants to kill her boyfriend because he's rich, and she's convinced Jack Quaid that he's doing the right thing, and who would be the better person to pin it all on than a robot, because robots aren't people, right? So there's this existentialism that's being explored through the themes, and then also an exploration of gender roles and what it is that some men are looking for in a partner. And I think it handles this really well, where Iris is kind of an accessory. You know, I can think at specific times in my life, particularly when I was younger, when I would take my now wife over to my friends, my friends' houses, people that I knew from growing up that maybe she didn't have the same history with, and how her role would kind of be like, unfortunately, kind of sidelined because she only existed in those settings as my girlfriend. And I became aware of it, years ago, which, pat myself on the back for not being a piece of crap. But if you are watching this movie and it's like a revelation to you, even better, right? Because a movie that can make you kind of rethink things that you're experiencing, or maybe that somebody you're with is experiencing, is really valuable. And I think that when stories work at their best is when they can be thought-provoking and allow you to empathize with characters. And speaking of empathizing, when you think about movies like Terminator and Megan, the Child's Play remake, I mean, you go down the list, oftentimes the killer robot is the antagonist of the story. What the filmmaker cleverly did this time around is make her the protagonist, and now we kind of understand why she is the killer robot. And I think that subversion of tropes works really well and makes this feel fresh, even if a lot of the elements are things that we've seen before. It's a comedy in the same way Heathers is, like a black comedy, and while the jokes aren't like laugh out loud throughout the movie, I think it is clever enough that I went with it. I think the tone is really effective, and it does a good job of getting the point across without ever feeling like it's like beating you over the head. The guy who plays the boy sex bot, saw him in Smile not too long ago. Unfortunately, I don't know his name, but I will magically make it appear right there. That guy, he's very good in this movie, and I think he gives a very human and robotic performance simultaneously in a way that elevates that role. He's like somebody that I feel sorry for and somebody that I'm afraid of in equal measure. And I think that's a really a testament to his performance as well as the direction. The moment when it's revealed to the boy sex bot that he is a robot and he tells his boyfriend that he already knew that, that moment is, there's a lot of underlying tension and kind of anxiety in it, because you realize like things can go terribly wrong. These robots are a little, can be unhinged. So it turns out the only reason why they were able to make Iris kill this guy is because they jailbroke her and they tweaked her settings and turned her aggression up. And then the girl told her boyfriend that it was okay to go and like hook up with this robot. That's kind of what she's there for, but he's forcing himself on top of her. She retaliates, leads to this whole big chain of events where all of these ulterior motives are revealed, and it's a fun ride. I really enjoyed this movie. I could talk about it forever, but I guess I could kind of put a button on it here. I think Companion is one of the best science fiction movies I've seen in quite a while. It's a fun ride. It's a horror comedy that really mixes genres effectively, and on a scale of 1 to 5, I'm giving Companion a 4.5 out of 5. I think this movie is excellent, and I'm going to be posting a Letterboxd written review of it over on my Letterboxd. I'll post a link down in the description to that. Maybe you're a Letterboxd user and you could give me a follow and I'll check out some of your reviews. I've been posting recently, and there's not a lot of reviews over there, but like the last 5 or 6 films I've seen, you can get my in-depth thoughts that way. Thank you very much for stopping by and checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, do me a favor, take the second. You've made it this far. Click the thumbs up button. It actually does help, I hear, and subscribe if you want even more content. Thank you so much. I'm Jeremy, and until next time, be terrible. Beep boop bop boop, beep boop bop boop.